I'm Fiona Vance, 33 years old, standing in the custom kitchen of my dream home in Asheville, North Carolina, 6 months pregnant, and surrounded by our closest friends and family. The air was filled with laughter and the smell of good food, a perfect housewarming for the place my husband, Ben, and I had built from the ground up. But then my brother, Liam, clanked his glass for a toast. "I've got some big news," he announced, a smug grin spreading across his face. "As of today, the legal ownership of this beautiful house has been transferred. It's mine." He turned and looked right at me, his expression turning cold. "Which means, Fiona, you and Ben need to be out by the end of the month." My whole world tilted. I looked at Ben, my partner of 10 years, but he just stared into his whiskey glass, refusing to meet my eyes. Under the granite breakfast bar, my best friend Cora's hand clamped onto mine, her nails digging into my palm. The room fell into a stunned silence. Every single person was staring at me, waiting for me to explode or collapse. His words weren't just a shock. They were a demolition ball aimed at the life I'd painstakingly built. I should have seen the signs. The secretive meetings Ben and Liam had, the way Liam always talked about my luck in the real estate market, the strange questions about my construction loan. But I was pregnant, focused on creating a nursery, clinging to the belief that my own brother and husband would never conspire against me. I was dead wrong. Ben's silence in that moment was a betrayal louder than any shout. I waited for Liam to finish his gloating, my heart hammering against my ribs, and in my head, I counted down. 3, 2, 1. As the silence became unbearable, I stood up, my hands perfectly steady, and reached into my oversized designer diaper bag. I pulled out a single crisp document that no one in that room expected to see. This wasn't the end of my story. It was the beginning of my war, a war to protect my unborn son, to reclaim everything that was stolen, and to expose the two men I had loved most as the frauds they were. From that moment, the trusting Fiona was gone. I was ready to burn their scheme to the ground. Have you ever been blindsided by someone you loved? Tell me about it in the comments below. Let's talk about the moment you found your strength. A year before that party, Ben and I were on top of the world. We had just broken ground on a half-acre plot in the Blue Ridge Mountains, a modern farmhouse design I had spent years perfecting. I'm a real estate developer, and this was our magnum opus, our forever home. Ben, a commercial pilot, was excited, talking about building a treehouse for our future kids. We poured all our savings into the down payment. Because my income was higher and more verifiable for the mortgage, the loan was in my name. Ben handled transferring our funds to the builder, and I trusted him completely. But as the foundation was laid, Ben started to change. He became distant, often saying he had to meet with financial advisors to leverage our investment. Then my brother Liam started showing up constantly. Liam, 2 years my senior, had always been jealous of my success. He'd walk the construction site, criticizing the choices. "You're overspending on these windows, Fi," he'd say. "Ben and I could have managed this budget better." I'd laugh it off, thinking it was just Liam being Liam. But then I came home early from a doctor's appointment to find Liam at our kitchen table going over the building contract with Ben. They quickly shoved the papers away. "Just helping Ben understand the fine print," Liam said smoothly. Ben wouldn't look at me. "Yeah, honey, it's complicated." My best friend, Cora, a sharp-eyed accountant, was the first to voice concern. "Fiona, why is Liam so involved in your house? And why is Ben being so secretive?" I defended them, my pregnancy making me want peace. But the clues piled up. I found a text on Ben's iPad from Liam. "She doesn't need to see the final disbursement schedule. It'll just stress her out." When I asked Ben about it, he snapped. "You need to relax. You're being paranoid. Liam's just helping us make smart moves." The final straw was when I discovered a key piece of mail had been opened and resealed. It was a statement from the title company. Something felt off. I went to the county records office myself and pulled the current deed. My blood ran cold. It showed a title transfer I never signed, from me to a holding company I'd never heard of. I took pictures of everything. That night, I went to Cora's house with documents in hand and broke down. I sobbed. They're stealing my house. Cora, fierce and loyal, helped me devise a plan. She said, play along. Let them think they've won. We need to see how deep this goes. I pretended everything was normal. I let them believe I was clueless and hormonal. I even agreed to let Liam handle the final payments to the builder. All while Cora and a private investigator I hired dug deeper. We discovered Ben had been funneling money to Liam, who had massive gambling debts. Their plan was to transfer the house, sell it quickly, pay off Liam's creditors, and split what was left, leaving me with nothing but the mortgage debt. They had forged my signature on the transfer documents. The night of the housewarming, I knew what was coming. I played my part perfectly, the happy, pregnant hostess. When Liam made his move and Ben stood silent, I was ready. The document I pulled from my bag was a temporary restraining order and a notice of litigation, freezing all assets related to the property. I looked at Liam, then at Ben. The only thing you own, I said, my voice clear and cutting through the silence, is a lawsuit for fraud, forgery, and emotional distress. The police are on their way to collect your phones as evidence. The aftermath was swift and brutal. The evidence was undeniable. The house was returned to me. Ben, to avoid criminal charges, agreed to a divorce with incredibly unfavorable terms for him, signing away any claim to the property. Liam faced forgery charges and is now drowning in civil lawsuits from his other debtors. I brought my son, Leo, home to the house that I fought for. Cora is his godmother. The treehouse is being built just for him. They thought my love was meek. They thought my trust was a flaw to be exploited, but they underestimated a mother's will to protect her child and a woman's intelligence. I didn't just save my house, I reclaimed my life. Thank you for listening to my story. If you've ever had to find your strength in a moment of betrayal, I want to hear from you. Let me know where you're watching from in the comments below. Let's talk about the moment you found your strength.